Hello, Sunky enthusiasts. My name is Machine Gun Moneybags, but you can just call me Machine Gun Moneybags. I'm a total Sunky fan, just like everybody else in the world. And if you say you aren't, you're lying. I have all the games, graphic novels, and limited edition holographic bat soaps. And now it's time to switch subjects entirely. I don't think I've ever played a hitchier galactic game before, though I don't think I'll want to play any after the experience I had 3 dots. It started on a beautiful, stormy day after a long day of fighting World War II. I was tasting my copy of Sunky Unleashed until my eye receptors input light rays to implant an image into my head of the events currently happening. The mailman had arrived to put something in my mail shirt and as usual left. I flew out the window to go see what it was. The only thing in the mail shark's mouth was a package and a note. The note read, "Hi, Santa Claus." Get it? Me neither. I then looked inside the package, and there was a jewel case. Since I didn't have any jewels, I threw it in the recycling bin. Remember, be green or else. I reached down deeper into my mouth of my mail shark and retrieved the CD case for the computers. A bit self-explanatory, but I spell everything out and don't respect the intelligence of the readers. And a note. Holding both my hands, I swam inside to investigate them like the pickle pie princess I am. I looked at the note first and realized it was from my dear friend, Chesty Glitterweep. I know it was him because it was his handwriting, except that it wasn't. This is what he wrote. "Dear Machine Gun Moneybags, destroy the disc immediately. Don't put it in any device at all. If you don't hate me, do it as I say. Chesty Glitterweep." I took note of what he said, but ignored it, and when I noticed the disc was shiny discs, yeah please. I'll disrespect my peers any day for such a great payoff. And the icing on this metaphorically maybe cake was that it had Sunky written on it. Anyway, I went up to my room and sat in my chair and turned on my kapooput and put the disc in the closed tray and looked at the screen and breathed in and breathed out and blinked in and clicked on stuff and clicked on things that aren't stuff and opened the disk folder. The only file was sunky.mpag or sunky.mbeg. Ha 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 ha. When I clicked on it, an exe opened up. When the title screen popped up, I noticed that it was the first installment in the Sunky series, Sunky the Game. I was like, tabula broski. After mashing my face into the keyboard to start the games like I usually do, I saw the title screen change into something else for a split second. The sky had darkened, the logo became rusted, much like the inner workings of my heart. Instead of saying Sunky the Game, the title ribbon said Sunky the Evil, and the level select button said Evil. The water in the background was red, like the color red. But the creepiest thing was Sunky himself. He had these red eyes like they were looking right at something that was most likely me. His mouth was very slightly more smilish, and it was really spoopsy, guys. Boy, for something on screen for only a few seconds, I sure did notice everything in precise detail. I pressed this very conveniently evil image off. It's like a glitch, just like anyone else in my position would. It then took me to the save select screen from Sunky the third game. The background was from the bad future, the Temple Trumpets from Sunky CD. Poopy clouds and all. The terror of the background could only be matched by the music. It was a song called "We Are Family," and it haunts me to this very day. The files had 3 characters on them: Teals the Fix, Knickknacks the Enchilada, and Dr. Roboternick. I yelled WTF out loud like any annoying teenage girl who uses text speech as a part of her vocabulary. That's when I realized, this isn't a glitchy Sunky the Game. This must be hacked or something. Sunky. I'm sure it came to the conclusion at a legitimate time. Most times when playing games, super evil level selects appear when they're glitchy, but playing as Roboternick? That isn't some kind of made-up story when ludicrous things like that could just happen normally. Since Knickknacks and Roboternick had locks above their heads, I chose Tealils. Since the only red static was above him, the game froze for 15 seconds. I had a stopwatch handy. And then I heard the scary laugh of SpongeBob SquarePants. The screen stayed black for this amount of seconds that I can't read. I'm sorry. And then the level title thing, object, item, indicator, words thing came on. But the complicated shapes were different shades of red. Ooh, colors are scary. The level was called The Hills Are Alive, and this angered me since I had not seen the sound of music yet, and I didn't want any spoilers. New paragraph! The screen faded in to show Tails and leveled green one from Sunky the Game. The music was scary though. It was the Goof Troop theme song, just like you usually do in this level. I held right the whole time, however, there weren't any enemies or rings, or anything other than the flat strip of land. After a while, the Tails saw the dead squirrel. His reaction didn't change since that would be really hard to program. Even if the game is haunted or whatever, we don't live in a fairy tale land of perfect programming. More dead animals started appearing the further Tails went. Soon, they stopped appearing and the music stopped. Tails saw Sunk at the right side of the screen. He looked the other way, eyes closed. Tails slowly started walking towards him as static grew louder. How is the static relevant or significant to this anyway in the story? I don't know. Explanation should be explained in the hyper-realistic written stories. Tails reached out for his hand. At the very quick moment before the screen went to black, Sunky's eyes opened. They were the eyes that read from earlier. Eeky Eekers! The screen stayed black for 7 stopwatches until white text that formed a message appeared. The text read, "Gots to go fist." At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue the game, but what kind of creepypasta main character would I be if I didn't make that smart decision? A rational one, and the kind of main character belongs in good creepypastas. After the text faded out, I was taken to a different level with the level title now saying, Level Patty Cake. This time, I was in a level jungly juggles from Sunky the third game, and looked like everything was on fire. Did someone drop a flaming hot Cheeto? They can all be winners. So I pressed down on the arrow key as hard as I could, and made Tails run as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast. The alphabetical yet creepy song of "Watch out for my body" rules played out as I made Tails track through the desolate forest, trying to help him escape whatever he was trying to casually stroll from. Suddenly I heard the creepy laugh again, that awful SpongeBob laugh. After like 10 stoop wooches have passed as I helped Tails walk through the forest. And then I started seeing flashes of Sunky popping on the screen, again with those red eyes. Eek! Anything with that color red! Colors give me the heebie-jeebies! Sorry. The music changed to the successful tone of "You're on blast" as you see constant verb tenses. Not my story. Sunky was behind Tails. He slowly gained up on him. Flying! Sunky wasn't running, he was actually flying. This was the most preposterous thing that happened to me on that day. Suddenly, Tails tripped on as another cutscene began. The music stopped as Sunky vanished. Tails laid there and started crying for 15 stopwatches. The scene was super sad. How could this happen to Tails? I cried as much as my body could allow. Anyone but Tails! He was the one that made... Oh dear lord. Well then, guys, apparently there was a malfunctioning, wiring in this house. Back to the story. I cried as much as my body could allow. Anyone but Tails! He was the one that raised me! He understood me more than anyone! And I had to sit there, watching my clothes as pale suffer. Oh, the agony! But then I remembered none of that was true, and he was just a fictional game character in a non-canon game that could not be in any real danger due to the fact that he was fictional. But then, Unky Sunky appeared right in mid-front of Tails, and the orangey-yellowy, carily tellowy fox looked up in horror. I could do nothing but watch. Well, I could have just let the room to prevent being scared, turn off the computer, close my game, and file my taxes, but I didn't feel like it. Just in a split second, Sunky dashed with Tails right before the screen went black. The text returned, only this time it said, "Oh yeah, this is happening." I was so shocked by what happened. Did Sunky have a silly dance party with Tails? No, he couldn't have. He and Tails were supposed to be waiting till marriage, right? I shook the shock off by dancing by shaking my choice booty. I was brought back to the character select. The save file had Tails was different. He was no longer in the box by itself, but in the TV screen. He was flickering with that red static. Tails was wearing a very colorful party hat that had an unragedly purple bow tie. Trying to ignore it, I selected the file with knickknacks on it. The laugh came again, and the string cut to black again, and stayed there again and again and again for about 10 stopwatches. This time, the tile card said, "You might not be able to run, but I may need to double check that."